Uh, I'm gonna begin with how God intervened in my family and how my parent became to be a Seventh-day Adventist, and then I'm going to talk about me. My father's mom, my grandma, I didn't know her. She died before I was born. And my father was about 18 years old when she died. And because of that, my father started and became to be an alcoholic. And somehow he met my mom, and I don't know if they get married, or I think they did it after. But they get together. I believe they were not married. So the life that they had, the first child they lost. He born and died. After they lose the first son, they adopted another one, and he also died too. So after that, I was born, and so I was born in that situation. He was not there when I born. My mom had to deliver me without my father being there, or just at least know where she was. So after that, before I grew up, I was 3 years old, I believe, when she became to be a Seventh-day Adventist. But before that, he studied the Bible, and like this missionary came to him and explained the truth of the Sabbath, so he became to be a Seventh-day Adventist. My father became to be a Seventh-day Adventist, but by that time, we were in a civil war, and my father had to, or my family, we had to go through this civil war. Being a Seventh-day Adventist was really hard. So my father had to deal with the situation because
When you say hard, being a Seventh-day Adventist was hard. What do you mean by that?
you have to do what they tell you to do. Okay? So if you refuse, you're dead. If you want to be a Seventh-day Adventist, you refuse to do something in the Sabbath day, or something that you cannot do, so you're dead. You are game. No matter which, if it's the People's Soldier or the government soldier, it doesn't matter. They were dangerous. You shouldn't say no. The thing is, they both came to you, and they put you in a really bad situation. So you cannot say I'm not with them. You say, if you say you're neutral, they don't believe you. And I remember one day, the people soldier, where they killed a cow, and they fixed the cow, and they were cooking, and we had a oven, a homemade wood oven, and they were cooking in that oven outside the house, really small house. They were about 20 of them, and they work all day, all night long. In the morning, I see that they were running and They were struggling, and they were, taking everything they can and running, and I didn't know what was going on. What happened? They saw the government soldiers coming with their weapons, and my father said that this captain was in the front, and he came to this hill, and he saw him, and he came and turned back. And the people soldiers, they see the army in the other side that was coming, so they run, they left. If somehow this captain don't turn back, my family will be killed in that situation. The government soldiers with his captain don't turn back. They didn't see the army of the people soldiers, so they turned back. They stop and go back. So I believe that it was God's hand guiding them to go back. So after that, they asked my father, for help, and he refused many times. And they took him a few times. What happened? They took, they came to my house and they took my father. They don't say nothing, just took him. And many of them, it was a story, many stories that happened. They didn't come back, and nobody knows where they are. They kill them, they bury it, and nobody knows where they are. So my father came back many times, and finally he decided to go out of that place and to be safe, and he did it. Thank God. So
how did he get out of that situation? How did he escape from those soldiers?
I believe there was a big truck. This truck were taking families that day, and they had to do that quietly, like left without a few things, and they didn't tell nobody where they were going. They just left. And after that, they were looking for him to kill him. So if he stayed, like a week, he will be. They was in danger. He was about to be killed. And in this scenario, if you have reunions or church, they believe you are against them, so you cannot do church in that situation. And my father was going to the meetings, church meetings, and they took 3 of the leaders of the church and they killed them. And until now, they don't know where they are. So they never found the bodies. So that's the main part that I believe God was guiding my family. And it was not an easy time to be a Christian, to be a Seventh-day Adventist. So that's a testimony that I believe God was protecting me. He has a reason for that. So I believe God's hand is real. My life is easy. To be a Christian in my time is easy. To share the gospel is easy. Nobody is against me. everything is in my favor. So I believe this is a good time to go forward and do it. If my father, they did it in a rough time, why can not do it in a good time? So I believe also that maybe in the future there will be a rough time like that, and I'm ready for that. If I have to go through that, I know that God was with us, and He will be with us in the future. So one of the things that keep my faith is sharing the good news with other people. And I have been in my life, I have happened that I have good times with my Lord and bad times, high and lows. And the lows came when I stopped to share the gospel, to do what God wants me to do. And so I believe share the gospel is one of the things that helped me to keep my faith.